It's an odd feeling knowing that you owe your existence to, well, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people around the globe. But I really do. 30 years ago, my father, he walked onto Glienicke Bridge, a prisoner of the Gulag, and he walked off Glienicke Bridge, a free man in the free world. But the truth is, my parents always taught us, is that that's not the moment my father became free. The moment my father became free was a moment he decided to speak his own mind and fight for his rights, both for his right to immigrate to Israel as a Jew and to have a Jewish identity.
The Six-Day War galvanized a group of activists in the Soviet Union. At the time, there were millions of Jews living behind the Iron Curtain. As the years went on, they became more and more targeted, to the point where when Jewish activists were advocating to make Aliyah or emigrate from the Soviet Union, they were isolated, ostracized. Many of them lost their jobs. They were arrested. Natan and Avital became symbols, not just for the Soviet Jewry Movement, but for the human rights movement.
When my father was arrested, for the next 10 years, my mother flew from place to place and went from community to community, from world leader to world leader, and everywhere, Jews everywhere marched with her. The millions of people who fought didn't fight for me. They didn't even fight for my father or my mother. They fought for us, for our people.
It was really a time when every single organization across the spectrum, right, left, middle, it didn't matter what their politics was, every single Jewish organization really came together in order to fight for Soviet Jewry.
It was announced that in December of 1987, Mikhail Gorbachev was going to make a state visit to Washington, D.C. We wanted to provide a welcoming that he and his colleagues in the Soviet government would never forget. The March on Washington took place on Sunday, December 6, 1987. Now, by that time, a number of long-term refuseniks and prisoners of Zion were released, including Natan Sharansky. This was a seminal event for our community and for our country. By the end of the day, there were more than 250,000 Americans, Jews and non-Jews, who gathered on the mall to speak in one voice, to send a very simple message to Mikhail Gorbachev and his government. And that message was, let my people go.
History will judge. If the world had enough will and resolve to do what you are doing today, to stand up, to be counted, and to make your voices be heard.
It took at least another year and a half before we started seeing a significant increase in the numbers. And when it did happen, it was like opening the floodgates.
Members of Congress put together a program of $10 billion in loan guarantees to Israel to help them with this absorption. Israel has repaid every single one of those loan guarantees. But most importantly, you had 1 million of some of the most educated, successful, committed people coming to Israel and contributing an enormous amount to Israeli society.
People imagine that a hero is this, strong, always right, always focused, always determined kind of person. The problem is, if that's our image of heroism, we'll never live up to it. We're bound to fail. The truth is, everyone did something heroic. The people who, traveled in the cold to be arrested next to the embassy, they did something heroic. The kids who wrote letters in their free time instead of playing games did something heroic. What was so powerful about the struggle for Soviet Jewry was the way the Jewish people really came together as a nation, as a unified nation. Once that's the image of what kind of people achieve change in the world, I think it's easier to believe that maybe we can do it too.